Hey, Nick Tockert here with the Historical Fencing Guild. Well, folks, I want to do a bit of another knife talk video because I'm obviously a knife guy, and recent events have made me very much more so. I follow a lot of the Second Amendment stuff, not because I'm a big gun guy like most of your Second Amendment support guys. I'm a big constitutionalist, and I'm a big knife guy. And I'm a big knife guy because I believe a knife is the single most useful tool that a man or a woman, any adult, can and should carry just about everywhere. I get they don't want them on airplanes, they don't want them in courthouses. That's reasonable. Leave it in your car. But just about everywhere else, you should be able to carry a knife. Now, longtime friends of the show, or those who saw my EDC, know this is my daily knife. This was a just under $4 Walmart special. They have since changed the design slightly, making it more conventional. But honestly, I love this knife. This is one of my favorite knives. This has been a go-to since I bought it because my other knife had fallen out of my pocket, which is what we're getting to. I'm going to do a rant on the Second Amendment stuff, probably as another video, but we're just going to stick to the knives now for time length. I have a problem, and my problem is in the summer, I tend to wear lighter weight clothes with less pockets. Anyone who knows me knows I don't go out of the house without a few things: a flashlight, a compass, a lighter, and a knife. So this gives me a problem because I like to go to the beach, I like to go places, and I like to have these items. Now, I saw a really neat little kit that had a light version of all this stuff, but it's just not quite my mojo. So, we'll rewind a bit. Many years ago, I got my first neck knife, and I'm not going to lie, I loved it. I love it. I'm going to show you. This is it. I bought this at Feast of the Hunter's Moon, which is a black powder fur trapper era reenactment held in Indiana. And it's been going on for like 100 years. It's ridiculous. Or 50 years. I don't know. It recently had a big anniversary, and it's a great event. This is supposedly a handmade knife. It's a neck knife. It's very small, as you can see. Very sharp. Has a very nice little sheath. And I just, at the site, I had bought some leather to do a craft for one of my friends. I made some really, really neat Odinist bracers. Spear of Odin bracers for a friend. But, and he let me keep the spare, and it was wrapped up, actually, in this piece of leather. So this was my neck knife for some time, and it became a go-to. But the problem was, it pops out easy. And I still need to make a new sheath because I love this knife. But at the same time, there's history to this knife, and I'm always a little cautious to carry it. Well, okay. So I start paying attention to neck knives. I'm like, these are nice. Now comes Christmas, and Jim was with me at that event, and Jim gives me this. This is a cold steel punch knife. Now, it's a very, very nice knife, and it obviously is designed to do one thing and do it really, really well. Yes, you could open up boxes. There are, cut things with it. But let's be honest, this is a punch enhancer. This is designed as a last-ditch self-defense kind of deploy and go so that you F up the other guy worse than he Fs up you. It's really cool. But it's also bordering on a monotasking. Wow, I sound like Alton Brown. Anyway, tool. So the other thing I realized is if I'm going to town and I'm like, boy, I really should carry my punch knife. I'm going to a shady part of town, and that's not a lot of justification. Because at the end of this, whatever you carry, whatever you use, you have to be able to justify if you ever deploy it. And this, why did I have it? I had it because if I needed to stab somebody, it's a little monotasking, and it's a little harder to justify. It's what goes into my sword cane discussion, which I need to reshoot. But I loved it, and it got me because I wore it quite a while, and I still wear it time to time. The Kydex, retention sheath doesn't, this was hanging. I can't get it to pop out. It's very nice. But I'm not just a knife fighter, and that's where I start coming into knives from a different perspective. Most are fighters or they're craftsmen, knife guys. And Craftsmen are like, these are the guys who carry the folding box cutters usually because they work really well. They open boxes. They do good things. I'm not quite just one of those guys, but I'm certainly not one of these guys who's obsessed with knife fighting, because if I'm carrying an edged weapon with the intent of it being a primary defensive tool, frankly, I'm a sword guy. That means I'm probably going to carry a machete. I have a lovely lawn machete that Jim gave me, and a lot of my best weapons are coming from my friend Jim. I have to think about that. It means he has good taste. But it was the two-handed katana machete that Goldsio put out. And I have it around the house. I use it in the spring and fall as a two-handed machete to cut down stumps. But it also is one of my favorite door greeters. Anyway, got to think about Jim. I started researching neck knives, and now I'm in town again. I don't think I have a knife on me, which I'm not comfortable being anywhere without a knife. I'm at Menards. They have stuff. This is a CRKT, I call it Cricket, Minimalist knife. It's a fixed blade, full tang, only about 2¼ inch blade knife. Comes with this lovely Kydex retention sheath that, again, it's not popping out of. And unlike the leather sheath, which has the problem that all leather sheaths have, is they can retain moisture. So if you store a knife in a leather sheath, there's a good chance it's going to rust over time if you're not really careful. Which reminds me, I have to go check out some of my others. But this knife, I've been carrying it for a day now, which, Nick, that's not much time. This is one of the most popular knives on YouTube. I've looked at a lot of EDC knives. I've seen a lot of neck knife, really good videos, and I educated myself. This is also a very good knife for people with smaller hands. What I run into a lot of the time is the very thick handles aren't comfortable. The Minimalist does not have it. It has an almost too thin, heavily finger grooved handle with just this gimping. And let me see if it shows up. I angled my light funny to be able to get this shot. But you can see it the grip is the most positive of any knife. This is one of the few knives I've held that I honestly believe if I have to stab anything, which I'm not likely to do, it's not my style, but if I had to do a thrust, I could easily and repetitively stab something without any fear of my finger ever slipping up the blade. More importantly, it's got a G2 handle. It's very nice, very rugged. And this little bit of cordage that they threw on there that I'm leaving on there because, one, that's a really pretty knot. And two, that looks like maybe 3 feet, maybe more, of fine paracord style cordage. I can't see in an emergency that being there being a bad thing to have. So it's there. But I think I'm in love. I mean, this is a really stout, really useful. I'm a whittler. I'm a carver. I do very tool task oriented. I make wooden toys. I make figurines at times. This is a wonderful carving knife. It's deucedly sharp. And while I may stroke it a bit because I'm fanatical about my blades, it's just a high quality. I paid just under $20 for this, which it was a little cheaper than the Amazon price. I know if you know a guy, you can find it a lot cheaper than that, but I was kind of in a bind in that I needed a knife right now, and I just didn't want to throw another $2 at a piece of junk Chinese one to get me home. There's something else about this knife that I want to talk about, and it's to me, a knife and sheath are all one unit. So this is the sheath, and you'll notice it has the happy little holes. Now, knives with Bob Ross. Happy little holes. But obviously, I've run this because this is a neck knife video. But it came with this really bad mojo pocket clip, belt loop. And let me show you how it retains. These are rubberized. So it just clips over to match these holes to allow you to either suspend it from a belt or strap, with a vertical pull, which is really nice if you're going for a more special forces style grip. You can sideways hang it and put it. I'm debating, even though this is a neck knife video, I'm really tempted when I'm not neck knifing it to mount it like this at the small of my back, because I've always been fond of that kind of draw. It's very comfortable for me. Obviously, I'm a fencer, I'm a swordsman, so putting it as a cross draw straight, again, would be very nice. This feels very sturdy. I'm not sure. But since this is a neck knife video, and I am carrying this as a neck knife, I want to just do that. And that's what part of the summer. I think at the end of the summer, I'll do a return to the noisy cricket, so to speak, and see what I think about it. If you are a knife guy or just a neck knife guy, please contact me on the thing. Tell me what you think about the Cricut Minimalist. I've seen a lot of good reviews, not many bad. And what I'd like to know, and what interests me, is how you wear it. And most people wouldn't leave it, I would think, in their pocket. Although you could, sheath and all, leave it in your pocket. But with this really nice belt loop, I kind of think it would hang better as, I guess it's called scout draw, or even for the reverse guys. I used to run with a lot of karambit guys. But please, I want combat. I want combat. No, that's Friday. I want comments. I want to hear your advice, your thoughts. So I'm wearing this now all the time because I believe that's how you should wear a knife. You should, if you're wearing it, you should, and I have it on upside down because that's set for right hand draw. I am ambidextrous, but I prefer to do knife work, hand work, right-handed. I do strength and shooting left-handed. Like I said, let me know. I kind of prattled a bit, but 3 great knives. I have no beef with any of them. This, when I get hair up and I can make a different sheath with a bit of retention to it, I'll do, and I'll love it. This is a great little whittler. And, even though you only have that, it's still a very positive, very comfortable grip. I don't know if this is something that has a maker. I've seen them places, but that's really nice. The cold steel thrust knife. This is a very nice knife if this is your thing. Punch daggers aren't usually my thing. Not that I don't like it, but like I said, it's a very specialty item, and I have to figure out how it best fits my kit, because it's too nice not to. And then, of course, my Cricut, which the little logo's here, which I find interesting, because maybe they're lefties. Maybe it's geared toward lefties. But I can't talk about the grip enough, the positive tightness of it. It locks in. It doesn't go anywhere. And I'm going to see, if I end up losing this knife, for me, $20 is very expensive. So I'll let you know. Other than that, I got more videos I'll be shooting soon. Please stay tuned. Like, subscribe, share. If I have value to you at all, please, I've got a Patreon. I can use any money that's coming your way. Anything you feel kind enough to throw. And as always, support your local swordmaster.